Messi. Oh my
Football, soccer, a beautiful game. All names for the sport that is worshipped around the globe more than any other, but has struggled to find a foothold in the U.S. That is until recent years have seen its popularity skyrocket. I sat down with 4 people.
My name is Bart Keeler.
My name is Bridget Bryson.
My name is Diogo.
I'm Carson.
To find out what has caused this growth, what held us back, and determine how U.S. soccer fans differ from our global counterparts. I met with Bridget Bryson, the secretary of English Club Everton's U.S. Outreach Program, and asked her what she thought the biggest factor was when it came to the sport's rise in the U.S.
Oh, I think massively TV. When I first moved here, I sort of lost track of Everton, and partly because the only way I could really find results, because there was no internet, was my mother would post me newspaper reports. So I would literally get stuff in the mail 2 or 3 weeks later. That's how I kept up with my team. Some of the bars would open up in DC to illegally stream. I don't think it was until the EPL started getting covered on TV here, you really started noticing a big difference. All of a sudden, I can watch games here that literally, if I was in England, I would not be allowed to watch live because of the 3 p.m. blackout rule. So I mean, I have friends in England who do illegal streams of NBC and Peacock so they can watch the game. How crazy is that?
I think soccer in the U.S. really evolved, the culture evolved because of social media and our ability to, that was really the only place we could access it. I think also being such a global sport, there's no shortage of soccer content, and Gen Z is a content demanding generation. They want to see things on their phone, and soccer is able to give that to them.
I think the Latino population, the increasing Latino population in certain cities has definitely helped soccer grow in the United States. And because of that, it's been catching a momentum and spreading to every neighborhood. I think ever since I moved here, the fanaticism and the culture of soccer is growing exponentially.
The attitude around sports in America is do it big and go for broke. And with it being statistically the 4th most popular sport in the country, we're just seeing the beginning of soccer culture in the U.S.
The new teams that have been starting in the United States for 10 years or so now have had a lot of Latino influence, and because of that, they've brought a little bit of the soccer culture with them for the tifos and the chants and the organized marches and just organized supporter sections.
The U.S. supporters have carved their own unique mark onto global soccer culture, but due to our lack of history, we cannot compare to the century-old traditions that exist everywhere else in the world when it comes to football.
Like the soccer culture over there is really, really important. Like we won the World Cup and people went crazy for 2 months. And like every person you like see on the street, you can talk to them about soccer. And maybe here it's not like that.
I think a lot of it will never happen as long as there isn't relegation, to be quite honest with you. I think the fact that, like for example, my team Everton's flirting on the relegation zone, every game is so vital. Every other game being played is so vital. You don't get that. You know, I love Atlanta United, but I found that in the last couple of years, my passion for it has really waned just because it gets to a point in the season where, quite frankly, it didn't matter anymore.
In Brazil or South America and Central America and Europe and other places in the world, soccer is more than a religion to them. It's to get to cheer for your team is a law of nature as breathing air. In the United States, it seems like soccer is more of just a show for fans to come and watch, where they come to the stadium, sit down, and enjoy their entertainment.
I was just at Goodison Park a couple of weeks ago, and the intensity and passion from the crowd, because every single kick of the ball made a difference. We're not going to get that as long as a team, it doesn't matter. They're still in the league next year. They get to play again next year. They get to start again next year.
Like I said before, it's passion. I think that here it's like, I think I went once to a Atlanta United game and I was like expecting maybe a lot of like fans like singing. Everyone was like just sitting, and there was like a little like amount of people that had like some flags and like drums and stuff. But like in Argentina, there if you sit, then you gotta go home. Like you come to the field to be singing and jumping and everything. And
take it seriously. Take the sport seriously. Don't just think of soccer as the first sport that your kid plays when they're 5, because now they can walk and kick.
Give a damn about soccer.